What is your full name?
My full name is Audi George Bajalia.
And where were you born?
I was born in Ramallah, Palestine
When?
in 217.
1931.
1931. 1931.
Okay.
That's
And what are your parents' names?
right. My parents' name, one is George Bajalia. He's the elder. And Nerme Airways Bajalia is the younger one.
Okay.
And God bless her, she's still here.
Your mother?
Yeah.
Okay. What did your father do? What did Amujiris do for a living in Ramallah?
In Ramallah?
Do you
I
remember?
have no idea what he did.
What did he do when he emigrated to this country?
He came to this country in 1920. 1920.
Okay.
And at that time he was in New York.
Okay.
And in New York he took hold of a lot of Palestinian properties. Not properties, but business.
Okay.
And he used them all over there. He did quite a bit of business actually in New York.
Textiles, right?
Textiles and all that.
Textiles.
And he also had
and linens.
Yeah, that's for this is what he started, and beyond that he had a warehouse and
On Fifth Avenue.
Oh.
Fifth Avenue, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And he stayed up there until the war came. And the war knocked on his door, said, "Hey, George." He says, "Yeah." He says, "You know, you're I don't know what it's called.
Draft card.
The draft, not the draft card, but the thing." And he said, "You can't stay in your business anymore."
Passport.
Yeah, he just locked it up. I don't know what he had in there. He told everybody, "Take it away. Yalla, take it. Take it." And then we came to New Haven, Connecticut. And New Haven, Connecticut, we had a beautiful place. Zero. It was a three apartments upstairs.
Yes.
And nothing in there worked. Nothing. Even the refrigerator, not the refrigerator you had to bring your own ice. But you had to warm up everything like that.
So, Amoada, you came in
1931.
You were born in 1931.
31 and 33 is
And when you came, did you and Auntie Nema come together
Yes, we did.
on a plane or on the boat?
On a boat.
On a boat. How was?
Nobody flew back in those days.
That's right. That's right. Took you about 21 days, didn't it?
I don't know. I forget.
You were
but
too
it was a
young to
long
remember.
time, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember living in Ramallah at all?
No.
Okay. Do you have memories of when you came to this country? You came to New York first, and then Jiddies.
We came to New York. That's where we came in.
Right, Ellis Island.
Yeah. And then I don't know where Mom was at that point, but she was in different places. But she would pack me up and go to the same places. But back in them days, they would find someplace I could go. And like I say, they checked out and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And eventually we got away from that. We came other places.
So how did you get to Jacksonville?
Jacksonville was right after the war.
Okay.
And I'll have to give credit, not to George, but my father. My father was on the war plant because they told him, "Go on the war plant or you get drafted." And at that time they would have got him. But he had 4 kids at that point. He went there. All right. It's time for him as soon as it was over with,
Mm-hmm.
he went to the company where he was working at, and he says, "Boss, I hate to say it, but I'm gone. I've been here for 3 years, and I worked with y'all, but
Mhm.
right now, they gave me the note, and I'm gone."
Mm.
And sure enough, he left, and he's the first guy to leave New Haven.
And then he came to Jacksonville?
And he came down here, and we didn't know what he was going to do, but he came down here anyway. And
What about Brooklyn?
yeah,
You go into from New Haven to
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
yeah.
didn't you? Yes.
Brooklyn is where we got it. New Haven is just close.
Close by.
Yeah. So we came to Brooklyn. He was down here for 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Came back.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Hey, wrap up your leaves, and we're going." And I said, "Where you going?" He says, "We're going to Brooklyn." We're going what's the name of our place?
Brooklyn,
No, here.
Jacksonville.
We're going to Jacksonville, Florida. He says, and he pulled us out,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where we came. We've been here, thank God, we've been there. We've been here all that time.
All this time.
Yeah.
Were there other family members here?
Yeah, but nothing.
Not too many.
We were at that time.
You were the first ones?
Very few people my age group were
Okay.
there. Very few people.
Okay.
Now, how many people are there?
Yeah. We have the,
Thousands.
yes, that's
Thousands
right.
of people.
Hundreds of thousands.
That's right. That's right.
We didn't have anything like this.
No.
Anywhere I was.
No. What, so do you remember when you were a young boy, all of the family coming together
Oh, yeah.
on Belvedere Street? I
Listen.
remember Almajides very well and Auntie
It used to
Nama.
be, when we came here young, there was only 4 or 5 not buildings, but
Families?
where we stayed, only
Uh-huh.
4 or 5 people. And we were in Avondale, we used to see people on the north side,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember all of them, but that's all it was, 4 people. Now, my goodness, we got what?
Hundreds,
40,
thousands.
100?
Yes. Well, so how did everybody get together? How was did people meet together in homes?
Yeah, we started in one thing, they all stayed together
Mm-hmm.
back in them days.
All the families?
They didn't have anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
They would come up, go home. If he didn't come to my house, he went to the other house and just,
Mm-hmm.
and they blew it. They
And
blew
the
it.
families took care of each other.
Families was good. It was a small Romola family here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking, she was, what is it, 19,
The 40s.
yeah, real early.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it is now. We got so many people. It's not that. But back then, there was no people. And we were on the south side because there wasn't hardly anybody on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the smaller group, everybody could see each other and
Yes.
visit with each other more.
Yeah.
I know we're bigger now and spread out, and it's harder for everybody to
Yeah.
get together.
Back then, there were 200,000 people in Florida. There's
Mhm.
not that many people here now.
Mm-hmm.
There's over 20,000. Over.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't keep up with the people here.
Well, tell me, Amoda, about some of the traditions. Do you remember any of the traditions like your parents passed down to you?
I can't remember anything because my father, he's himself.
Mhm.
He's a pusher.
Mm-hmm.
He always gets a couple of people come in and play cards with him.
Mm-hmm.
And all-
That was the big pastime.
Yeah.
All the men congregate and play cards.
yeah.
Do they used to play cards at your house?
Yeah. There's only, sometimes we get 3 people, sometimes we get 5 people,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes 6, but most
And what would you kids do when you're
we
the
just
older
run
men?
around and
Play around?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just drive them nuts.
All the cousins? All the cousins will get
Uh,
together?
I was the oldest one. I think
Mhm.
we had 4 of the kids when I was there. And we had more than 4.
Yeah.
We had
How many siblings do you have?
myself.
Yes.
I have 10 kids.
You have 5 siblings?
Yeah.
You're the oldest.
10.
10?
Altogether.
Small.
I'm the oldest.
That's grandkids.
Yeah, yes, the grandkids.
Yeah, I got 10. I don't have any more. In
Okay,
between.
so,
I haven't married a couple. No, they haven't been married. They're not married yet.
Yeah.
They're just.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 4 brothers and 6 sisters.
2 sisters.
You
2
have
brothers.
6 sisters.
You
two
have 2
brothers.
brothers and 3 sisters.
You have Auntie Layla.
No, I don't.
It's you, and then Auntie Layla is second, right?
Helen.
Or is Auntie Helen is older than Layla?
Yeah.
Okay, so Auntie Helen,
And Sam.
and then Auntie Layla,
Right.
then almost Sammy,
Sam,
and then Auntie Vicky,
Vicky,
and almost Joe, and Joe.
Joe. Is any
Yeah.
more?
That's all.
That's all of
At
them.
that point.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And you're the oldest. You were the only one born in Ramallah.
That's it. And I came here wonderful 2 years old.
2 years old. Did you keep any of the language or the traditions?
Yeah.
What did Auntie Nama teach you?
My mother, she spoke Arabic all the time.
Yes.
And she spoke to me Arabic all the time.
Uh-huh.
And me, when I'm 2 years old, I still learn from her.
Spoke it.
So-
Yes.
And then when I got into school,
Mm-hmm.
they taught me some school, and I learned a little English. I
Okay.
started learning English.
Okay.
And that's where I learned a lot of what I've learned is English.
Okay. That's what you feel more comfortable speaking is English.
Oh, yeah.
Did Ummu Jidis and Auntie Nama teach you any of the traditions that from the old country, from Ramallah?
Lots.
What was some of your? What's one of your most favorite
I
ones?
can't really say how much, but my mother took care of the refrigerators, everything. She took care of everything she did in the kitchen.
She was a good cook.
And oh boy, she was one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
Yes.
And I couldn't slow her down. Well, back in them days, you could slow her down. There's nothing else you could do.
That's right.
Right now, you do everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
really, that's what women did back then. They didn't really work outside the house,
right.
outside the home.
And we were fortunate over there because we had schools. There were so many places we went.
Mm-hmm.
School, we just got up, we walked away to the school, and we came back.
Yes.
And, and that's the way it was. You went for morning, you came back in the afternoon. You left at 2 or 3 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and you went.
And it was an easier time back
Drank a
then.
lot of beer. No,
Uh,
I wish they did back in them days. No, they didn't worry about beer and things like that.
So you went to school here. All of your education
I
was here.
started here.
Grade school, high school, and
Well, I started up there.
okay,
When I came,
high school here.
I came back to Jacksonville. I was a senior, not a senior, but in the ninth grade.
Ninth grade, freshman. Okay.
Yeah.
So after high school, did you join the Army?
After high school, I started the business. I
Okay.
was 18 years old.
What business is that?
A grocery store.
Okay.
All right. I was working. I went to work for Publix
Mm-hmm.
at that time, and they put me to work, and I worked for them for
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie, and for a year, little less a year. That's about anyway. I worked for a year. When I started at not quite 15. I started that. I started before I was.
Before you graduated.
Before I was 40 years old.
Okay.
And I worked for Publix.
Mm-hmm.
Winn-Dixie.
It's Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie, that
Mhm.
time.
See, and what trade did you learn from Winn-Dixie?
I started as a meat man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a meat man, but
Like a butcher?
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And when I first went to work, the guy looked at me and says, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 18, 17." He looked at me like I was nuts. So he gets a block of beef, tosses on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Do something about it." I took my knife out. He says, "Damn, this guy knows what the hell he's doing." He says, "You're okay. Go ahead."
You got the job.
Yeah, you're okay. So I got in there. And I stayed there for a while because they loaded trucks with meat products.
Uh-huh.
Not just meat products, the whole block, the whole thing.
The whole
And
side of beef.
I had to go in there once in a while, grab one and just toss it on the thing.
counter?
And then I'll cut it up,
Mm-hmm.
And hey, that's what it was. By then I was a great 14 years old.
Well, you learned a great work ethic from your parents, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, we
You worked
learned,
hard.
we learned from everybody
Mm-hmm.
what to do. It's different now
Mm-hmm.
because right here, all you hear is blah, 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 blah. You got to do blah, 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 blah. And you get tired of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because over there, we worked. If you didn't work, they'd kick your butt, get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it was.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
We're back in the saddle again.
So tell me, Amalda, when did you start your military service?
Military service, I had the pleasure of when I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I got started in the store, and they started drafting me. And nobody got away easy. Everybody, my age group, you can check with people, we all went in the service.
Mm-hmm.
Because the war started,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, "Hey, go." He said, "No, you can't go." I go in there, he says, "Well, I got the store, I can't. He says, "You go tomorrow." "Yes, sir."
Mm.
Yes, sir, that's the way it was.
That's the way it was, yeah.
We went there, and
So when did you have the store? How old were you when you had your store?
I started out at 21 years old.
18 years old?
18.
18.
Right out of
You
high
had
school.
your
18
own
years.
grocery store at
Right.
18?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I reached, I had 1 year, a little 1.5 years, and then they came
And
and
drafted
said,
you.
"Hey, you gotta go." I said, "Hey, I got the store going." You gotta go. Everybody like you goes in the service. And
Mhm.
sure enough, they all went in the service, and they were overseas like me. Every one of us
Where did you go?
to Korea.
Korea, okay. Yeah, and
Every one of them.
What happened to your store?
I don't know what happened. So
No.
at that time, it was still there.
No, but your brother ended up taking over running your store, right?
Oh, he did? Yes, he
Sam.
did. Yeah.
Mhm.
My youngest brother.
Yes.
Mhm.
My
Yeah,
younger brother.
yeah.
He was in high school. He was a senior, and he was a hell of a guy.
Mm.
And I was the Army. Not Army, but the...
That's okay.
Yeah,
So you, almost Sammy took over the store
Yeah.
while you went to where you were drafted,
yes.
and you went overseas to Korea.
Right, he was in the service, and he ran my store,
Mm-hmm.
and he ran the whole thing there.
He took care of it for you.
Until when I got back, he said, "You're back, goodbye." I said, "Whoa." And hell, he got married about 2 days after I got back.
He couldn't. Well, he took care of it for you while you were gone.
That's it.
Yeah. So what was your role in the military?
My role in the military is a little bit of everything.
Okay.
We started out different thing. I had I checked a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on we checked, and we got involved in the big,
Lot of,
Construction projects.
construction projects, all that, yeah.
Right. And
Were
you
you-
you were a
We were
photographer? too?
photographer,
Weren't
and
you?
Oh, yeah,
Photographer?
I learned photography too.
were you taking pictures of the military
I've
exercises?
got photos of
Mhm.
a lot of military.
Yeah,
I took.
some of your photos are very impressive, so
Matter of fact, I bought some more cameras, and I still got more.
yeah, so you still have some of the cameras you used
Oh,
during
yeah,
your military
I
service?
still got it.
Wow, okay,
I still got it.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, so how did the Ramallah people get together in the early days, when the settlers, when they were
In the early
first starting?
days, you had 3 or 4 people get together and they played poker. No,
Mhm.
not poker, but you know.
Peanut.
Just
they-
cards.
You play cards.
Yeah,
And that's what they did.
That's
So what else are they gonna do?
they gathered in homes.
Yeah, that's in the 1930s. What else are they gonna do?
And I remember when some of the family members from Ramallah came to Jacksonville, that your parents took care of them, and
Well, we were here first.
Right.
At that point, we were up top.
you were the first ones here. So you knew a little bit about Jacksonville, and you would help the other families.
You know,
Get
we
settled.
We were up top, and fortunately, it was good for us. But you can't do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it all the time. But we did it all the time.
And so I want you to tell me, like, when my grandfather came and my mom, they stayed with your family for a while. Other families did that too?
I think they did because there wasn't that many.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't that many there. It might
Yeah.
be your family, might be a few, 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
The same thing with us.
So not just the Hassasnas?
A little bit with everybody. At
okay.
that point, we didn't care if it was Hassan or Bum Bum Bum.
Uh-huh.
We were all friends.
Then we're all family.
That's right.
That's
We
right.
were all friends.
Yeah. It was an easier time back then, I
Yeah.
think, too.
It's different now.
It is.
My God, when I go there and I see all these kids running around, you just wonder, how'd they get here?
Yeah.
How'd they get here? You know,
There
we have enough to do.
Do you remember the very first Ramallah Club in Jacksonville? It was on Atlantic Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember they had to give it away.
yeah,
They-
they sold it, yes.
They-
Well, we outgrew it,
Well, they had, it started and they built it.
yes, they built on
They
to it.
built more to it.
Yes, they did,
And
Yes.
it was a nice building, and the cars were going by there. And
Mhm.
everybody, all these other people were building buildings.
yes.
And then we built a building, small building, but about the size of this, no,
Yeah.
a little bigger than this.
Hmm.
It's amazing what we got here, considering what we started with.
Your father, Omogidius, is one of the charter members of our Ramallah Club.
Right.
And he helped. I have a picture of him with some of the other older men of their generation digging the earth, you know. Yeah.
Get a shovel,
Yeah.
get a saw.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he started.
He was one of the charter members, yes, yeah.
They had a place on Main Street one time. Too.
There was a place on Main Street, yes. They used to have a club with the Syrian. It was
Yeah.
right above a liquor store. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah. So, do you have any other memories you'd like to tell us, to share with us about the old days? And
God's sake, I've learned so much and saw so much in my time, considering I started here. Gee whiz, when I did.
so you married Huda Akel,
Yes.
and you had how many children?
I had 4
4 children.
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, she had one son that passed away 4 years.
Ago yesterday.
4 years. Yeah.
Yesterday, yes. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless him.
God bless
he
him.
was a good kid.
Yes.
That's one of his kids.
That's his son.
That's one of his kids.
Yes.
There's two others.
Yeah.
Two others. You know, we got ways to start. But back then, there was only 4 or 5 of us. There wasn't that many. Now, zoom.
I know. But there were only maybe about 4 or 5 families,
That's all
and then
there
the families grew. Other
Right.
people came to
Right.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're in Jacksonville. I mean,
All over the United
You get in your
States.
car and you zoom. You drive 40, 50 miles away,
Mm-hmm.
and you're still not the end of the place.
Right.
That's the way it is. It's
Jacksonville's grown too.
Just grew fast.
Yes. Yeah. Well, anything else you'd like to tell us?
Well, I say God bless America, but that's part of
Yes.
me. I went in the service.
Mhm.
Went in the service, and
You're a proud veteran.
yeah, I came back, and not being a vet, I went into the grocery business,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sold out the grocery business, and I had about a dozen other businesses.
Did you have you had a successful real estate business?
Well, I had that, but that's beside that.
Other
I
businesses
had some
too.
other businesses.
So very good. You know.
I had to work on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have 3 warehouse things working in my place.
Yes.
Yeah. And we worked.
Yeah.
I worked.
There's no shame in
I was
work.
always. I'm not afraid of working.
Well, you were instilled that work ethic from your parents. You know, your parents worked
I got
hard.
started when I was young,
Mm-hmm.
and the last 5 years, they got me. I can't work like I did before.
Well,
It's time for me to do something else.
it's time for you to retire and relax. You know. Well, good.
And if you watch out, you go nuts.
No, you keep
look.
busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I mean, everything was good. But then again, seeing this is no problem. Before this, we started with that one place,
Mm-hmm.
and then it picked up a little more. And this was a small place too. Look what happened. Boom.
Mhm.
And hey, I don't have any problems with this place.
Are you proud of your Palestinian heritage?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you are. Yes, and you've taught that to your children?
Yes, I do.
Good.
I do tell you, don't I?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm proud too.
Yes.
And that's been
And-
passed down to your grandchildren.
Yeah, we're all proud here.
You're
We
proud.
we all work on it. I mean, it's not, hey, there's a reason for that. We're here, and we're still a part here, and we're going to stay a part of the people.
Yes. We're Americans, but we're not forgetting our heritage.
I'm American, they're American, all my kids are American.
Mm-hmm. They're all American
I went
born.
into service just as fast as they in the grocery store says, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I says, what do you mean, come on? He says, you got to go. I said, I can't go, I got to work in the store.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not
Duty calls.
If you're not done by Monday next week, you're gone. You finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, I went there, and they said, next thing I knew, I was in Korea.
I wonder how Teta or Auntie Nama felt about that.
She was back, my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, God bless her. She's still around. My mother.
Her memory is still alive.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But her memory, she'll talk with you. Otherwise, she'll just be quiet.
Yeah.
Not say too much.
Yeah.
4 years earlier than that, she was very vocal.
Mm-hmm.
She would talk to us about
Mhm.
everything. I talked to her. and
You're
she'll-
talking more about your wife, not your mother.
So Auntie Huda.
Auntie Huda,
Yeah,
our mom.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about your wife, not your mother.
Talked to my mother too.
I know you talk to your mother, in the spirit of your mother.
In spirit.
In
What's
spirit.
the matter, you?
Yeah.
Well, Amawada, it's a pleasure talking to you
My
today.
God, it's a pleasure seeing you all here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
'Cause I have gray hair.
Well,
But I earned it.
we all have gray hair, we just cover it up. Some of us cover it up.
Yeah, we earned it, God. But I hope
Yes.
what I talked to you was something that
It is. Tell me, do you keep up with what's happening in Ramallah and what's happening in Palestine?
Truthfully, Ramallah's there and I'm here.
Yes.
And here I am, 87 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there for almost 87.
85 years.
87.
Yeah.
80 here. I've been here 87 years.
Uh-huh.
And it's here.
It's your home.
I said, this is me. And I'm Arabic, sure, I'm Arabic. I'm also here.
Yeah. So you have to
And
live.
I started with nothing, and so I got almost nothing, but I'm still here.
But you got most of your life has lived here,
Yes.
and so you have your roots, but you're still
Right.
American too.
And we spent a lot of time here in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
We came down here in 1945, right after the war.
And you've been here ever since.
Yeah, we've been here ever since.
Have you ever been back to Ramallah?
One time.
You did go back.
And when I went there, we went over to the other part. What the other part of the country?
El Beira,
Jerusalem.
Jordan.
Well, it was the other country.
Israel.
Israel?
No, that's before Israel. Israel wasn't there.
Jordan.
Jordan then.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Well, we went there, and we went to spend a week there.
Mm-hmm.
We went over there, and they held us in their place for 6 days before they let us out.
You mean you were in
And that other
in
town.
Amman?
Not Amman.
Jordan.
Yeah.
In Jordan?
In Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally went to Ramallah.
Oh,
We
okay.
spent 2 days.
Oh, because they held you.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
We did.
Okay.
We saw the people we needed. We saw. But in the meantime, we wasted a lot of our time there
Okay.
because they told us, hey, you got to, here's your card.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go somewhere. I said, okay, I can go tomorrow. I said, you're not going tomorrow because we're going 2 days. Because that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They take care of us. They care of that. They take care of themselves and the hell with us.
Right.
That's the way they work.
Right. Yeah.
So we got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
We went back to Ramallah. We did cruise all over Ramallah.
Mm-hmm.
When we were
Did
there.
you and Aunt Huda go together?
Yeah, for 2 days.
Did you take any of the kids?
No.
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 Kathy went to Ramallah this past
Yeah,
summer.
she just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. How did she like it? Did she tell you?
Boom. She boomed.
She loved
She
it?
loved
Good.
it.
Good.
She did a great job.
Wonderful.
And she went down there, and it took 11 days before she got back.
Wonderful. So she went for the convention.
Yeah, you talked to her. She's
Yeah.
full of it.
Good.
She's full of it. She did it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet.
It's a pleasure
talking
too.
with you.
Same here. Thank you.
Talking with you all.
Thank you, Amoda.
Okay.